And out of the discussion segment, Nigeria's non-oil exports have shown remarkable resilience, hitting an all-time high of $6.1 billion in 2025, which is a commendable 11.5% increase from the previous year, driven largely by commodities like cocoa, urea, and cashew nuts. This growth signals progress in diversifying the economy away from oil dependency. But amidst these positive strides, a burning issue has emerged that is sparking widespread concern among stakeholders, and that is the recent attempts by shipping companies and terminal operators to hike tariffs and port charges without proper consultations. Reports indicate that the Nigerian Shippers Council has stepped in, directing a suspension of these increases and insisting on engagements with importers, traders, and other parties to avoid undue burdens on the trade cost, which could fuel inflation and hamper our export momentum. Now, joining us virtually from Port Harcourt to shed light on these developments is Dr. Ufon Udofia, a seasoned expert in trade and export matters, as well as the Vice Chairman of the NASIMA Trade Export Group. Mr. Ufon Udofia, thank you for joining us on Business Express.
Yeah, Musa, thank you for having me once again. It's my pleasure.
Well, first off, I must congratulate you on your recent appointment as the Vice Chairman of the NASIMA Trade Export Group, a well-deserved recognition of your contributions to the sector. Well, I think I should start my question with this particular this particular position that you've been, given. How has the experience been so far, and what do you intend to leverage this role to advance Nigeria's export agenda, especially in the non-oil space?
Yes, Musa, thank you so much. And I want to thank Alhaji Janib for giving me the opportunity to join the NASIMA Export Group. Alhaji Jani is the national president of NASIMA. Yes, over the years, we've been working on this and trying to see how we can bring Nigeria to join exportable countries instead of depending on imports. And I'm also happy with the president's renewed hope agenda, trying to see how I can boost non-oil exports. So I think I am impressed that people could be noticed. It is not a contestable, the position is on merit. So this will spur me to work more and to do the best I can to make sure that the non-oil export sector strives during my tenure as the national vice president. I also want to thank my chairman, Mr.
I'm afraid, Mr. Ufonodofia, Dr. Ufonodofia, will have to. we have a matter to discuss here, and actually, it's on the known oil exports in 2025. We've seen a record of $6.1 billion recorded by Nigeria. What do you make of this development? And is this actually different from what we've had in the past?
Yes, comparing the figure of what we have in 2025 to 2024, there's an increase. And this is good for us because right from the inception of these governments, they've been battling with dollars and they've been trying to see what can make us balance our trade. And with this figure, it means we are moving in different non-oil export products. And if we work harder, just like the slogan of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council under the leadership of Mrs. Ayeni, and he said, let's double exports. So I think we are working hard to double export on what she made as she came in as the chief executive of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. It's a welcome development.
Talking about this development, is it the money size or is it the export size that is actually significant with this particular achievement?
Yes, it's the export size because if you look at that figure, it's tied to some commodities like urea, cashew nuts, cocoa products, sesame seed, and the rest. So it's not only about the money side, it's the development of these products. And before now, the level of rejects in Nigerian non-oil export was actually very high. Though we have not gotten there by saying that we have conquered, but at least it's reducing. People are beginning to know more training is being done on on issues like moisture. So it's not only about the amount of money, but the product development aspect of it, because some countries, so many countries are beginning to have confidence in our agricultural products.
So, where are we on the issue of rejection, rejection of our exports? Have we been able to improve? And what other strategies are we actually expecting to see, like in 2026?
Yes, there's a little bit of improvement. I know before now, a few years back, a committee was set to reduce Nigerian reject in the international market. I wouldn't say we are there, but at least there are some improvements that we have recorded. As at last year, the level of reject was not as what it was in the previous year. We have not actually conquered, but I think some things have been put in place, like with other development agencies like GIZ and the rest. They are also working to make sure that this is reduced to the barest minimum.
Okay, on ports front, there's been quite an uproar over proposed increases in tariffs and charges by shipping lines without actually seeking stakeholders, advice. What specific tariffs and charges are we talking about here, and why consultation? Why is consultation so critical in such decisions?
Yes, consultation is so critical because it is the shippers. When I say shippers, the importers and the exporters that pays these tariff and charges to the shipping company, to MPA, and to the terminal operators. So you cannot just wake up and go and increase the tariff without improving your services. And besides improving your services, you just know, and I'm going to increase my tariff by this percentage, like 23% from what they were charging before. And Shippers Council, I wouldn't say whether mistakenly or erroneously, approve it for them. That was why the National Shippers Association of Nigeria, in conjunction with other stakeholders like the Importers Association, like the clearing and forwarding agents in Nigeria, said no, before you do this, there need to be a consultation. What is sustainable within the sub-region? Are you charging the same fee in Ghana? Are you charging the same fee in Cote d'Ivoire and other countries? Why is it that you must start increasing this without letting us know? And we said that the non-oil export has increased as of last year. If this comes in now and we are paying most of these fees, we will no longer be competitive. So that's our major issue. We want to sit down with them, look at it. What has improved? Why do you want to increase your fees? That is very, very crucial. They cannot do it in isolation. Even though Shippers Council is a port economic regulator, yes, they are regulating. You don't just wake up and have meeting with shippers, shipping line, terminal operators, and do the increase without involving people that are actually paying these bills. When you hear that customs are making money, it is the money that the importers and exporters spend, the money you pay for duty and other charges. So we need to be carried along so that when there's an increase, we know, yes, this increase is necessary. This increase is not necessary. How do you make it from here? But because most of the terminal operators and shipping lines just wake up, they will tell you for the past 3 years, they've not increased their rate, so they want to increase. Is that the basis? The answer is no. You must not just wake up and increase. It will trigger down to the masses, because whatever thing is being paid in clearing goods will be added to the cost of these communities, and then it will be spread along, and this will increase inflation. Then for exporters, by the time you increase and add it to, you will not be competitive, you will not be able to sell and export like other countries. So it is very crucial that we look into it and make sure that it is not done arbitrarily.
Now, stakeholders like shippers, importers have warned that these hikes could lead to soaring trade costs, just as you mentioned, and inflation as well. Now, from your perspective, how might this impact small and medium enterprises involved in exports? And what measures should be put in place to somehow mitigate such risk?
Already we are in Nigeria. A lot of things are there for us that are not being provided. You do your electricity, you pay your other countries, like maybe like, let me use example like Ghana, they have stable light. So invariably, you cannot be competitive with them because your cost of doing business is already higher. And again, when you get to some of these MDS, some unreceipted payment makes things difficult for you, even entering the port. You see a lot of people on the port who are not supposed to be there, are there extorting money from exporters and importers. So it becomes an issue. So we are appealing to government that the ease of doing business should be looked into, and some agencies think that the single window interference,
Okay, Dr. Ofodudofia, can you hear me? Okay. I'm afraid we lost Dr. Ofodudofia. Well, that was Dr. Ofodudofia sharing his thoughts on 2025. Okay, you're back. Well, just continue. Let's hear what you have to say about that.
I was saying is that the government should do everything possible to make sure that a single window works, because you are working in other countries, East Africa, in Mombasa, in Rwanda, in Uganda, and it's working seamlessly. Because if the human interference is reduced, it will be difficult to part away with unrestricted payment and to allow ease of doing business to flow. We can clear at a limited time, and our business will move. It will reduce the time wasted in exporting or clearing.
Okay. Now, briefly, just before we let you go, just share your thoughts on your prospect for this 2026 regarding known oil exports. What's your prospect for 2026?
Yeah, I want to believe, I'm looking at it that we should be able to double export. Thank God that with the advent of Dangote refinery, some prices are a little bit stable. On the previous years that you cannot budget, you cannot plan because of the fluctuation of dollar to naira. So my prospect is that this year we should be able to do more. Like the cashew season is about starting, and we are receiving orders. We should be able to double export in products like cashew nut. Then Nigeria is almost being self-sufficient in urea. So by the grace of God, I want to believe that our export figures will change, and that will be for the betterment of Nigeria, and also to support the renewed hope agenda of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, championed by the President Ashibaju Tinubu.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ufon Udofia. We're actually waiting you to invite us to the party so that we'll celebrate your recent appointment. Thank you.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.